I'm joined by Sajad Loon, chairman of the People's Conference. We are in Patan, Baramulla. Sajad Sahab, we just came out from this Jalsa, this rally. This is huge. There were lots of people. How is this election different from the previous elections?
This is the first election after 2019, after abrogation of Article 370. There has been no assembly for the last 5 years. So it makes it a very, very crucial election, I would say, since 1947. And I believe that the people of Kashmir deserve that a new voice comes in, a different voice comes in. Because we have had NC representing this parliament segment 9 out of 10 times. And we are in a situation today where there is no statehood. Article 370 is gone, 35A is gone. So, who do we hold responsible? Who do we hold responsible for all this? Obviously not us who were not there. So let a new voice go, let a different voice go.
Is a struggle for statehood, for special status of Jammu and Kashmir the main issue, or there are other issues, development and other related things as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned?
You see, in the longer term, 370 will always define the core emotional issue. It will always be there. It's a very emotional issue. I don't think it's going to fade away ever. But at the same time, there are short-term, medium-term issues of development and what I believe of dignity. When it comes to development, you're talking of normal economic development, what parameters, and every party will have a different say about it. When I talk of dignity, I talk about what place does a Kashmiri have in the country.
Dignity, by dignity, can you explain what is dignity? Why I'm asking this, because other parties are also saying the same thing, that they want, as I was hearing your speech, you said that you have to go to a long process of verification when it's about passports, it's about other things. The same things are repeated by other parties. That how is it different?
To be very honest with you, I think our party was the first one to flag this issue. If any party has talked about it, I'm surprised, because they were not talking about it. Because all these parties have implemented these rules. In fact, invented these rules. So they are a part of the problem.
Right.
So it is problem uttering the problem. Yes. While as in this case, it's solution uttering the problem.
Right.
We have a solution. We say, do what you do in the other parts of the country. Don't have special laws here. Do what you do in other parts of India. If you wanted equality and parity, you took our special status, at least make us equal now. Don't make us unequal.
Sahab, Umar Abdullah, the National Conference, has been repeatedly saying that you are a proxy of the BJP, you are a B team of the BJP. What do you have to say?
They said the same thing in 2019. Yet, then BJP jailed me for 1 year. So, and it's always in election time they say these things. There is nothing, you see, they can't defend their record of governance. They can't defend their record. So, they accuse me. These people outside, you saw a sea of people, are they BJP? Is Umar Abdullah calling them BJP? I represent people. In the last election, 29% people voted for Umar Abdullah, 23% for me, and 71% total voted against NC. So all people who don't vote for NC, are they BJP? BJP is a marginal party in Kashmir.
Why is BJP a marginal? Why didn't they field the candidates here when they say on one hand that people have moved on, things have moved on, but at the same time they didn't field any candidates? Isn't it contradictory?
I have a different take. I believe, you know, with basic political analytical knowledge, I would have thought they wouldn't. Because you have to understand that they would not want to put their acceptance online, because they after abrogation, this would be the first election. And if they get 1%, that would be a moral rejection. Right. Now, Umar Abdullah is lionizing them. When he talks of BJP non-stop in Kashmir Valley, he is actually lionizing them. I'll be very honest with you, I have never ever believed that the father and the son ever abandoned BJP.
You believe they have not abandoned?
Never, ever.
Will they? Will you? Do you sense that they can even form a coalition at the end of the day?
They approached them in 2014. They had meetings after the 2014 elections, which ended in end of 2014. In Jan of 2015, they had meetings. Everybody knows it. I said it 5 years back. Nobody believed me. Now, Devinder Rana, who was the right-hand man of Umar Abdullah, in fact, said that he was sent to talk But problem is that you will ask me these questions, you will never ask these questions to Umar.
No, I asked him also.
And what did he say?
But he says that there is a difference between allies and proxies. We are openly allies of the India alliance, while as BJP has allies and some of it has also proxies.
I will tell you something. They know about why did he send Devendra Rai?
I didn't ask him that.
And that's the whole point. And why is his father out? If Mr. Chidambaram goes to jail, Mr. Kejriwal goes to, how is his father out? At the pleasure of law? Because of law or because of BJP?
You mean the cricket scandal?
Of course. I mean, it's as documentary, as documented and evidence as it can get. And nobody touches him. So, whatever noises he is making is to stay out of jail. I have never believed that they ever abandoned them. There has always been a relationship. It was overt in 90s, it's covert now. So, and this is the old NC thing. Create a lie, accuse others of it while you keep on doing it yourself. And what about these people? I mean, say, what role does BJP have in these people? Have you seen a bigger rally? Yeah. Be honest.
Yeah, it's a very big rally.
Right? Has anybody done such a big rally in Valley? So are they BJP? What a shameful thing. He's calling his own people BJP.
Syed Saab, you also call him, you call him a tourist. How is he a tourist? He's contesting from Baramulla constituency. That does not make him a tourist. He was contesting from Srinagar. Now he's contesting from Baramulla. How is he a tourist?
He is a tourist. Overall in Kashmir, he is a tourist. Tell me one thing. Apart from the fact that the national media has always glorified him, because it's an ecosystem that status quo hona chahiye. Strugglers like Sajjad should not enter. So you all have a lovely day calling me proxy. Oh, are you a proxy? Because Umar says it. Umar Abdullah lived on Gupkar Road. No Kashmiri neighbors. On one hand, there was the IB office, head office. On the other hand, RAW head office. And right opposite him, the army headquarters. So all his life has been, as a young kid, with army uncle and IB uncle and RAW uncle. When he had a Kashmiri as a neighbor. After class 5, he went for boarding. Studied in outside Kashmir. Then BJP and RSS combined, took him under his wings and made him a commerce minister at a very young age, when there was very minimalistic polling. Then made him a foreign minister. So, until he acquired proper adulthood, he has never been a Kashmiri.
But are you scared of him fighting from Baramulla?
Why would I be scared? I would be scared had he fielded somebody from Baramulla, from that thing. He would have a traction at the local level. You have been with him, I think, yesterday. So you would tell me what the size of crowds was there. You should tell. I mean, say, why don't you tell us?
It was a road show. It was not a rally.
And how many people were there?
But Umar Abdullah.
What was the highest number of people?
Umar Abdullah has been saying that you talk about good BJP and bad BJP. You said recently.
If the size of crowds that he had, if I had those crowds, you would have declared victory for him. Non-existent crowds. I mean, say, we are very hospitable people.
Right.
But then if he comes as a tourist with the intention of ruling, people will go away.
Syed Saab, you said last time that when he was with the BJP, when national conference with the BJP, that time it was all right. It was Vajpayee who was heading the BJP. Now it's a different BJP. So there is a problem. But BJP is basically an ideological party.
You see, Mr. Umar Abdullah had an interview with a local reporter here, a dynamic female reporter who had the guts to ask him some questions. When she quizzed him repeatedly, he said, "I'm proud." He said that he is proud that he worked with Mr. Vajpayee and that given a chance he would work with Mr. Vajpayee even today. Okay? So the point is that BJP is a Hindutva-based right-wing party, ideological party. Individuals don't matter. So what is the problem? Is that his problem is with Mr. Modi, not ad hominem, not ideological. With Mr. Modi, not with Vajpayee. So tomorrow somebody else comes, he likes him, he will gladly go. That was, an open admission that he is open to going anywhere.
Lastly, do you have a roadmap for the restoration of the special status of Jammu and Kashmir or the statehood? We know that the legal options have been exhausted. Do you think it was also reported that perhaps it was not wise to go to the court for getting the special status back?
I would not go into that at this moment, but I would certainly, this is not the last word on that. But as far as Article 3, I don't see NDA or India alliance, I would really wait for a future generation which believes in federalism to give it back to us.
What do you foresee the future of J&K? We know 10 years to 15 years ago, there were slogans of autonomy, self-rule, all of that is gone. Now we're talking about special status, perhaps restoration of the statehood. Things have changed. There's lots of change that have happened. What do you think these fast-moving political developments, what's going to happen in the future? I know we can't predict, but from the way that you analyze the things.
I would have said that changelessness is not the defining term. Change is. Nothing is permanent. Even if you believe that we have reached a certain milepost, we haven't. There is another milestone.
Best of luck, Sajjad Saab. That was Sajjad Lone, obviously telling us his views about the politics in Jammu and Kashmir. He's contesting from the Baramulla constituency, where he's pitted against National Conference Vice President Omar Abdullah.